All right, so we made it to AB's. You've added these new tanks here. How nice are these new pandas? Yeah, wow. This is how you're meant to enjoy these fish.
Yeah, I have done super, super well. It's the sheriff and Sam going off. Oi!
Ziggy?
The crazy one. I'm filming with animals.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
So I've got to show you this.
Okay, so today we're going to be driving to Adrian's fish room down at the Gold Coast. So just over an hour away from me. And we're going to be checking out some of his new tanks. But it's the morning here and I'm just thinking about what I want to bring him because normally we kind of give each other some gifts. I've been breeding a lot of fish and I don't think he has any of these koi angels. So if you see how good they are, I reckon I might bring him some of these today. Not too many, because I'll overwhelm him. I know he's got a lot of angels, but I've also got some blue eyes, lots of these. These are all the Arus, and I think there might be a few Luminatus in there. So maybe some of them. I don't know how he's going for betters. I mean, he's always breeding them as well, but maybe one or two really nice betters that I've bred up. These still haven't got all their color yet, but yeah, the room's looking great right now. I'm super excited for him to come down here and check out my room. These Acaras actually were from the last time I visited him, so it's been a while since I saw him because look how big these have gotten. I brought these up as fry when I did the last fish room tour. So today we're just gonna be checking out, he's set up like a bunch of new tanks. So I wanna go suss them out, but whoa. And look at this too. The goldfish are breeding, so I might go and try and hand spawn these this morning as well. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna catch out some fish. We'll head down there. I'm gonna bring Sam today and he can meet Zig and we're just gonna have a good day. Look, the Royals are back on eggs again as well. They just love the flow. I can't wait to do the fish room tour of this room. It's actually looking so good. It's really coming along. Look at this. Anyways, this video is about Adrian's room, not mine. I'm gonna catch out some fish and we're gonna head down. Let's go. You got a long drive ahead, Sam. You don't mind doing that though, do you? A long drive?
All right, so we made it to AB's and you can see Sam's running around having the best time, sniffing everything, pissing on everything.
He's
probably
met Brutus behind you.
Yeah, he's met Brutus and
he's chill with him, and Zig, well,
Zig doesn't know what to think yet.
Nah, he basically just wants to chase his ball as always.
Yeah.
Or what was left of the ball. Actually, he's got a solid rubber one because Brutus loves to pop the tennis balls, as I saw. This is a solid one he can't get to, but that is pretty much all Zig wants to do.
And Sam's just frolicking. Oh, they're having the best time. Look at this.
We'll take him for a walk a bit later.
Yeah, we'll take him for a walk or something. But yeah, man, the room is looking so good. You've added these new tanks here.
Yeah, so this is one I'm super excited. And then you wouldn't have seen the 6-footer and you wouldn't have seen the rack.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you saw the bonsai last time either as well. So
no, I haven't seen that. This is new.
Yeah, that's new.
Oh, and these would be new.
Yeah, so I've got just babies down there and I've redone those ones over there for some Psilocybe.
But the room's just looking amazing. I feel like it's really come into like the full, it's like the completed version.
Thank you, nearly.
Nearly, huh?
Yeah, I've got a few more projects to do. And
I love this little nook you can go into as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shrimp tank looks okay in there because I wasn't sure if you're going to film, like we're just going to hang out, right? So it was just one of those days and I thought, you know, I'll go and scrape some glass, and I thought, which tanks do I actually like to show you? And the rest of them I won't show you, or you'll show you, but not on film.
Yeah.
But it's mate, it's getting there. It really is. I'm so excited about like what I'm going to do with this waterfall tank. And was this done before?
This was, but I didn't know you had babies.
Yeah, no, I've got a few babies in there. Funny story, actually. This is a standalone tank, and then I don't know how many videos we've done now, but always these fish have been in the foyer, yeah?
Yeah.
So I've never, in the time that we've almost known each other, I've never had Pseudotrophia psilocybe other than in there. Now, I did originally have them in one of these small tanks up here. And in fact, I think it was the 5-footer up where the Leilupi are.
This
and
one,
then
around the corner, that
yeah,
one?
right up the top, yep.
It's
that's the one. Tons of
Yeah.
duckweed on it. But so I'm pretty sure I had him in there, but that's been, I would say, 4 years.
Yep.
Actually, we've been here for 4 years. So 4 years, you know, really, even give it a year off, so that's 3 years. So then I brought them back in here, and then I noticed I had Silosi in the sump, my old sump. I'm like, it totally, perplexed me how they could get from there to there, and they didn't, because ultimately what I've worked out is that those fish were in, the babies must have been in there. I didn't notice them in the tank. They've gone through to the sump and they've grown in the sump. Now those babies have now had babies, or maybe 3 generations, who knows. But I actually have got adults in what was my old sump, and I've actually just done a video
sump,
on my channel. I've just had to do a new sump.
I haven't checked this out yet. Wow. But they were in here.
That was my DIY sump, yeah. So
this is a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really, really happy with it. I've got to say, I like it so much better. It's so much more fun to deal with than a glass tank and all the, the sponges. I love the sponges being vertical. So, but when I had to break that tank down is when I pulled them out, and I've got 3 little babies out of there, plus I got 4, actually I'll show you. Literally, I've been wanting to do this for days, so I'm going to do it while you're here.
While I'm on cam.
Yeah, may as well. Saves me having to film it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to grab a net. Do you wash your nets and wet them down before you touch the fish?
Depends. It depends. It depends which tank it's been in, or
It's the sheriff and Sam going
Sam's
off. Oi!
decided he's gonna come
Enough!
on, Sam.
Stop it. Please.
You're doing no good, mate.
He's
You're a
doing the
guest.
sheriff. He's a deputy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've got the 3 babies out, and they're in this tank here. I put them in with some of my baby Acharas and some of my angels. So they're the 3 that I got out of the sump. It took me forever because they were say a little bit smaller than that. They've actually put on some weight, but they would go inside the biomedia, and I couldn't find them. This is why my
He's like, sorry.
This is why my channel's so chaotic, because I have to deal with all of this all the time. So 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
And they're in with angels and Acharas.
Yeah.
But the parents are these guys. I've got 4 adult.
Oh, right.
I've got 4 adult females and 1 male.
Yeah.
So this is the rock that I've taken out of there.
These
No, these are the Silosi.
Silosi.
Yeah. So these are the ones that came out of the sump. And what I'm going to do is
Because
transfer
the babies
them.
look a lot like Lupe babies.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Well, I take that out. Check. That's where I'm going to put. I'm going to put 2 females and a male in there as a breeding project for my channel. Oh, these dogs!
God.
So this is the tank I'm going to put the Silosi in.
Yeah, let's chuck them in.
Yeah. So the 4 girls and the 1 boy. How cool is that? That they're sexually dimorphic. What I do like about these guys as well is I've been having this war on duckweed. They eat duckweed.
Yep, beautiful. We filmed this whole bit. Wasn't filming. So these are the fish I dropped off. I dropped off some arus, which AB was very happy to do.
I'm stoked with them, dude. And especially now, we've had a chance to actually talk about stuff, even though it was off camera.
Yeah.
But that's the perfect tank from. I was wondering about what can I put into that tank as it did the fish. So I thought about putting those mutt guppies or my rainbow guppies in, which we filmed and we'll film again. But I just never felt it was the right thing to do. And then for you to turn up with those is absolutely perfect, because, as you said, the only thing I probably need to put in there is a spawning mop, and they'll breed in there.
Yeah, they might spawn on some of this other vegetation in here, but I'm sure you'll get some eggs.
So this tank gets really tanny. Do you want me to shut the door for you just so we can
Yeah, let's just
film
shut the
that?
door, and then that way we can keep all these little
Yeah.
troublemakers in here. Look at that tank, just for 1 sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did put the fish in there. I don't know if we filmed that bit, but that looks a lot better now with the door shut. Yeah, no, this will be a great tank with the 397s for sure.
Yeah, and I think I said it before, but that's not even a week worth of mulm that comes up. But I'm really happy with the way I've got the flow, because the flow actually pushes it to there and I can siphon it out. I actually did this whole rack on a video on my channel with called Pleco Towers, but how I set that up. But I wanted that to be a splayed, I actually would better turn that music off, otherwise you'll get a copyright strike. I don't know why it started either. Anyway, gotta love that, YouTube, fair use. But I wanted it to splay out, like a bit of an angle on either side, and then I wanted the thin leaf Java, because I had such tall thin leaf Java, to be the center. So I'm pretty happy with the way it comes out, but they eat timber, obviously, maybe 50, slightly over, 397s in there. And I've been breeding them for well over, probably I'd say 11, maybe even 12 years now. And I got them from babies as well. So I'm stoked with what I pulled out of there. And I think the tank looks okay. I'm happy with the look of it, and I think it'll breed better because they've got a much larger footprint now.
Yeah.
The next one down is so these are my baby angels, and you've just given me some of your baby angels, the coys to mix with them, which is great. But that one has got the L333s in, and they were out before, but you see one of the boys in here.
Tails, yeah. It's so much easier to
And
film
we were
now.
talking, earlier, it took me so long, like years and years to get those guys to breed. And eventually they did. And again, I've got 40 to 50 in there. I forget what, if you watch the video, it'll be on there. But there's 40 odd L333s in there now. And I'm stoked. And I can see them all the time. They come out really often. I can see them on the ground. I can see the boys hanging out in there. And it's slightly yellow because it's an older light. But I'm wrapped with that tank. And then down here, these are the lemon tetras I bred. So they're all mine and one random bloodfin tetra. But how cool do the plecos, the peps look hanging out the side?
Oh,
So I can see them so much more. It's not funny. It's crazy.
this is how you're meant to enjoy these fish,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I love to feed the tank. They come out of a night time. They come out and actually wait like they used to in the other tank, but they're all on top of each other. And now they're actually spread out, and I think their behaviour is just brilliant.
No. How about no?
Filming with animals.
Yeah.
Enough. Come on.
all of you guys. Jesus.
Peps are doing well. So the next one down, actually, like the same thing I said with the white clouds, is I didn't necessarily want them to be outside all winter, so I bought my paradise fish inside.
Yeah.
And they are, Zig, come here. They are super happy. I put the commonplex in there, and they've already bred. I saw more than 50 odd babies in there of the tiny little babies. They're out all the time. I mean, again, if you're just getting into plecos or you want a pleco that's actually active, what is it now? It's nearly 12 midday, and they're out and about. You can feed them now. They'll come out and carry on like they do.
But yeah, no, this is another cool tank. I love this tower. Can you tell everyone, because you already told me, but how you actually got it?
I think it was like a Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, so midweek, and they put on to Facebook Marketplace, free tanks, free stands, free sumps, free everything. And they had, let's say 20 or more out, in the car park, just turn up and pick it up. At 5 a.m. the next morning was when I actually looked at it and I thought, oh man, I bet they're gone, there's hardly anything left. And I thought I could actually put a rack in this area. And because there was 4 tanks and 4 sort of, sections for it, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to drive up. So I drove up, and there was 1 rack left, which is this one, and 4 tanks. It was like it was meant to be. So so they were free, and then I bought them back, and then...
They're actually old pet barn tanks. You can
They
see where
are
they used
pet
to have
barn
like
tanks,
they're aluminium. You can see where they used to
Yeah,
stick
with the frames and the pardon me, the lids that used to come down, but I'd much rather see the top of the...
Yeah, me too.
Over the top of it. But so it's secured in, and then you can see around there, I've set up
yeah, this is great.
a manifold system for them. So this is the one, the tanks are numbered 1 to 4 from bottom to top. And then I've got overflows that were already in them. The overflows were down about this level here for the fish shops, which is weird. You can see right there where the overflow level was. So what I did is again in the video, I just showed how I raised that up with a 1-inch elbow, 1-inch nipple, which brought it up to that level there. And I really, really like the way the water flows over the top. It's if you've got the direct flow through, like it's been proven in my system, fish get through and they keep going in it. But to go out of the water, to go in, so to go out of the water, to go down the overflows run out to, I actually had, and I showed how I put this drainage system in here. And I've also set up as a permanent siphon. You'll see the green pipe over here that's normally for a canister filter, that's set up as a permanent siphon. So I just turn that valve on, which drains this tank, and then I've got it filling from this 6-footer here. So I explain how I do all my DIY water change systems. But with this tank, all I do is, in fact, I'll show you what I'm doing now.
This is for a water change?
For a water change. So I turn on that side of the room on here. Now, I'm pretty sure I've already got it set up, but then I go to the main manifold over here, and I just checked that it's on the 6-foot manifold, which it is. All the other ones are turned off, because every tank that I've got, with the exception of 4 Cory tanks, 6 Cory tanks actually, I can actually do a water change just by simply turning a dial, and it overflows out into, either my sump and then into the waste, but the other wastewater goes into my my tubs outside.
Now water's coming over here.
Yeah, you know how we're talking about when you want to change a whole sort of rack. So I've only got them on half there. I could turn them on slightly more, and you'll see more water come out and the flow go through. I'll just turn this on I've actually got really good water pressure here at the minute, so that's why I need to turn it on a bit. But you'll now see water pouring into those 4 tanks.
Yeah, you can see that coming through there at the top.
Yep. And so you let that run, half an hour. Like I think you do yours 15 minutes type thing.
Yeah.
But if I do that for half an hour, that's going to be close to an 80% water change, I would have thought. The Plecos just love it. The cold water coming in.
Yeah.
They get all active and they get all excited. The Angels, it depends. Sometimes, yes, they tend to hang down this area away from the flow. But the lemon tetras, and you'll see them in a minute, they just dart in and out of that flow all the time. It's just another part of enjoying your tanks, even whilst you're doing maintenance. The other thing I like about it pushes all the mold, as you can see. That's one of the oldest L397s I've got. He's an old dude, yeah. I think it's an old girl, actually.
Yeah.
Because the boys take their hiding spots. But it pushes it to this corner. So when I'm ready, I can actually just then siphon that out. Yeah, but the tank stays, almost crystal clear. And again, depending on how long you're here, we've actually, like when the sun comes into these tanks, oh my God, like it's just amazing. Special. It really is. I'd love to see how it works on your camera. So
yeah. I reckon we'll hang around.
I might be able to get you to hang around for 1 beer in my fish room.
This tank's looking so good.
Yep.
This is another edition.
Thank you. It's a new one. Yep. So I've got, I decided to set up an Akara breeding tank, which worked. I think that's my 6th or 7th batch of Akara fry. And I don't know how many you'd estimate are in there, but more than 100, maybe a couple hundred. And they've just been breeding. I've got 2 pairs in there, which I took out of the 8-footer. They just love it. Having the ability, and I think having the 3 sort of bommies of rocks in the middle of them, it actually separates it enough, and I've got caves for them to go in. The pairs have chosen either end, which is you'd sort of expect, but they've actually got this middle territory where they don't, really carry on too much. So I get very, very little fighting. The only issue I've got with that tank, and it was because the lights I had on it before, is the that yellowy sort of mold, that algae that comes through. It's it sucks.
I know. It doesn't look bad, but it sucks to get rid of.
It does. So I'm tempted to even just rip all the plants out of there for a while, let it all sort of disappear. But I have to move the plants all the time because, I don't move them, I put them back because the Akaras, as you know, when they pick up plants and they rip them and pull them out. And so the Anubis is doing okay in there, but not as flash as I would like. This is I know it's not a new tank, but it's actually cleaned up and massively. It was. I took the, remember I had the Aponogeton in there?
Yeah, I was looking for it.
So I put that out into the tub. It was...
They get too big.
It was 1,100 millimeters long.
Yeah.
So, that's roughly that.
Yeah.
It was just too much. It covered the top and I couldn't see in there. So it's now outdoors, and it being a native, I think that was one of the Australian native ones, it's going to hopefully survive. But I've still got my rifle shrimp or riffle shrimp in there, which you and I will need to get some more. Yeah. And then 3 of the Ruthven tetras or the red bellies, green bellies, whatever you want to call them. But my blue shrimp have done really well in there. You can see I like I like the colour of the.
I love the boulder.
Yeah. There's one right on the top of that little stick there.
Wow.
That's kind of the colour I like. Like that deep blue.
You want a deep royal blue.
Yeah.
You got really actually in the back there too.
Yeah, I've seen some. Would you call that a carbon really?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think carbon really is the name to those guys.
Do you reckon we filmed these? I just want to briefly talk about these again.
Because we didn't. Here's one of the pistos, the girls. So the hidden tank that I had that you always found babies in.
Yeah.
I moved the pistos out into here, and I've got 4 girls and 1 boy in there.
The boy's under here.
Oh, that's good because he is very elusive. The star of the tank is the CW51s, which are the golden pandas. They're called new pandas. I think the name should be golden pandas because they truly go to the colour of your gold lasers. They get that really, really gold colour, particularly around their forehead. I just love them. They are really personable. They're not shy at all. They've got space to go and hide, and they don't. They are out all the time. They're locally bred, and we will be able to to get that contact again. And then I thought, why make the golden? I think I stuffed it up last time as well for the bloopers. But why make the other ones go outside? Yeah. I mean, no doubt the Chinese white cloud minnows, which is, they can handle under snow, so they can handle the winter. But I thought, why do that? I actually really, really like.
You want to see them?
Yep. So I had 3 that were bred, I think, in one of the tanks over there I put in. I put another 17 in to make 20. I've probably got another 10 in the tub that I'm going to catch up. And, you know, having a school of 20 to 30 to 40 white cloud minnows is really cool. They're really close to pencilfish, which are the ideal, you know, companion and dither fish for pistos particularly, but also cories. They school really well, particularly when they're feeding, and I'm just rapt to have them in there. I haven't had them inside, I think, ever. I've always had them in tubs. I've always had them in ponds. To see them from the side, they're brilliant. They're as good as my pencil fish, you know.
Yeah, man. No, it's so good. It's coming along so well. And he thinks we're going to let him back to the other.
Yeah.
Can I go play with Zig?
They're all in timeout.
Look, he's learnt the name Ziggy. Ziggy?
Which is, yeah, that's that crazy dog.
Ziggy?
The crazy one.
This actually looks really good.
Yeah,
like,
thank
I'm
you,
impressed.
man. I had a slight hiccup with the silicon when I did it, which again I did a video on that one. But I am really happy with the way that you can interact with that sump compared to the glass one, you know. And it's so easy to pull stuff out of.
How much did it cost?
$138.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
You know, and it's as good, if not better, than I think than a glass sump. You know, it's way better, way easier to access, way easier to clean, and way cheaper. So yeah, there's a DIY video on that one. Did you get my rainbow guppies?
No, we didn't.
I call them the rainbow ones. You see, like this one, he's got the blue fins, the gold body, and the red tail or the pink tail. They're just a mix of my 24 carats and the blue platinums. And I'm really enamored, by those guys. So what I think I'm going to do is try to breed that as a bit of a line, and then have them as rainbow guppies. I mean, I'm sure people will let you know in the comments whether or not they'd buy rainbow guppies.
Yeah.
But for a bit of a fluke or a bit of a test, what do you reckon?
It's always fun. Yeah, they look great.
Isn't that the awesome thing about this hobby is you can actually just make your own fish.
Yeah.
Like you can make your own fish. Like it's
it's insane.
phenomenal. You go, I like that, put them together. Wow.
Yeah, like when you're going to be able to do it with the kois.
No.
The angels.
I can't wait to. I really want to have that orange, that dark orange koi, color and pattern, but I want the leopard spots.
Yes.
And then you call them leopard angels.
Yeah,
I don't know where you can. There aren't anyone, as far as I know, that's selling a leopard angel.
Yeah,
so,
I think there are some.
I'd love to see.
What about a yellow leopard?
Yellow leopard. I'd love to see them.
Yeah. Like just not that patterning, but the color as well.
Yeah, the color. So that's the one I would call the leopard. What do you think about that?
Man, the boost is just coming along beautifully.
It flowers all the time. I'm really stoked with this tank. I try to keep it as clean as possible, but it's only got orange shrimp in there, which are great cleaners. Like if you've got a planted tank and you want to keep, most of the work down to a minimum, you see the orange shrimp at the top there.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you this as well. So I think you saw my babies we fed, did we?
We fed them some nano pellets, but I don't know if we got that either.
Can I drop some more in?
Yeah,
Because I need to feed them anyway.
Yeah, these are like the super nano pellets I've been playing with. I don't know. I fed up all those angels on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to do really good.
Nice. Well, I'm going to drop some more up there because it literally is the perfect size for these guys. And I feed them 3 times a day if I can.
Yeah, they're still tucking into them. Wow.
Yeah, that's good. I've got some more over this one.
Yeah.
I've got more Akara babies in here.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. They're everywhere.
Sam also quite likes the micro pellets too.
Yeah. Brutus does as well, by the way. He eats anything that's any of the fish food. And you got the
yeah, we did that.
These guys in there.
No, they're still hiding, so
yeah, so
the room's looking really good. I reckon I'll come back for a tour at some point soon, right?
Yeah, well, you're welcome, especially after I get the river tank. I mean, that's the one that...
this one over here?
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll just open that door so we can go outside and I'll show you that one. And that's really my next project that I can't wait. I'm super excited about because I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. This is one of those planted tanks that you see in aquariums in the shops. You know, how they put plants in this one and this one and this one, and then they've got no fish in them. So it's that water flow. I'm going to set this up as like a river tank, but given I've got all this as well in the space, I bought this and bent it back, and I've been trying to shape it.
I remember when you got this.
Yep. So I'm going to do a waterfall out of the top of it. So it's, it's going to almost be perfect. But see the way it's got this section in here?
Yeah.
This is going to be the waterfall. And then I'm going to have it out of the top
of the
tank. right? And then you have a look once you stick, once you stick the plants.
Yeah, once it's
over
all
it.
grown over, it'll like cover up this corner beautifully.
So it'll, when you've got some sort of coverage, but it's going to have the same amount of flow as normal coming out of here.
Yeah.
But this, I'll probably put
Just
this,
rip that around it.
around from there to there or something, and then plant all this out as well.
Yeah.
So when you open the door and you look at my room, this is the tank. You'll see this will be coming out of here. This will be planted.
Yeah.
Flowing into here.
You hear it
flowing
too,
into
like
here.
the little splashing noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's only really bent because it was obviously straight before I did it. But you can see it's going to take up a decent amount of your room when you look at it. And then of course, as soon as you soften it,
Yeah, wow. It's going to look amazing.
and then I can put different plants and air plants and bromeliads and bits and pieces in
Yeah.
here. So yeah, this is my next video that I'm filming, and whether or not it'll be the next one that comes out, I just can't wait to do that tank. It's also got like a little sump underneath it as well. Check this out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to have it going through, and my thought is I'm going to put 3, so I'll have rocks, and I'm actually going to put background on here. I'm going to make my own just with silicon and my own river rocks and bits and pieces, but then have it flowing through. I don't know whether I need this, right? But this is some of the stuff I got with these tanks free.
What, just to stop fish getting through?
I'm thinking to maybe stop cories getting through necessarily. I'm thinking I'll probably have the same sort of fish in each tank. So if they do get through or breed or whatever, I might
Figures
just
the
do.
crap, yeah.
Imagine having 20 neons, 20 neons, 20 neons. Or,
Yeah.
It would just look great
just
as it
like
goes
one
through.
big piece. Yeah.
And then naturally escaped, but then have 3 species of cories. So particularly, if I put my green emeralds in here, which is a bigger tank than they're in, but any one of them that spawns, the pheromones surely will go through, and then it will be this whole thing. I can also, turn it off and then just simulate, a dry
Wet,
period,
dry season,
let it go down, put some tannins in it. But this will be, I think, for me, is going to be a cory breeding tank more than anything. Definitely will have some dither fish in there, like neons or something. Something what would in other than Danios, which I know do. But what about high flow fish? It's
High flow things.
Yeah.
Oh, heaps of stuff.
I'd love to put some of your whiptail babies in
Definitely.
here.
Yeah,
Imagine,
I would have brought you some, but they're just too small.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah, they take.
Well,
a
when
long
this
time
is
to
set
grow.
up, if you're welcome to come back anytime, as you know, especially when you're bringing
Yeah,
fish.
yeah.
I think the whiptails would go great.
I reckon
wouldn't
whiptails would go nuts, especially like under this splashing. They just sit
Yeah.
right here, like what mine do.
they? Yeah.
So-
So that's sort of what I'm thinking, and that's what I'm going to start filming. And then, I have actually already started filming. I've got to cut some bases. See, there's nothing in the bottom of them, and I'm going to put rocks all through them. So I need to put some, like I did with these, put some plywood under them. But then essentially, it'll look like it's coming in here, but a fast flow through there, back through the sump, which is, I think it's a 3-foot sump. But I got all this media too. Check out this. When I bought the tank, I got all the media. So it's
Excellent.
I'm just growing
Keeping
it.
it alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I show you one more thing?
Yeah, I've only got 2% left on this bat.
All right, give me 1 second. Have a look at this. I just want to show you how well these Gadids have done. And I've got so many in here. It's not funny or whether they come up now because it's not
I
feeding
can see one
time.
in the
But
corner, yeah.
man, I have done super, super well.
I can
And
see
look, they're in
them.
there with shrimp. But I know that I've got more than 50 in here because I counted them the other day. I was out there trying to catch how many there are. But when you feed them in particular, they just come out. I'm so stoked to actually have all these babies and all these Gadids in here. Did you put any in the tub?
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm rebuilding my tubs, so. But this is sick.
Yeah.
So they'll go all winter?
Well, that's what I'm hoping they should do, and they have done. That's many times before, as far as I know, these fish in Australia, the location we live. I'm super confident that they'll do okay out here, particularly because I've got these guys. Why I moved them from over there in the shade is they're in the sun. So if they can warm up during the day, it's much better than
Because you get a bit colder than me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice. Look at those
-2
colours.
here sometimes.
Yeah, they're like in the nano pellet things.
Yeah, for sure. They're exactly the right size for them. And this is my mixed Medaka tank. Nothing like, you make Glenn's, I know, but I've actually got just a whole heap of different, you see some good oranges, some good whites, some good silvers, some good tigers.
Yeah, wow.
That's when they realise there's food.
No, this is just the mutt Medaka.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
I just really like Medaka, and I really like all the different things. I don't need to breed them to sell them or to do anything with them, but I mean, like that tigers are really. This is the Eponogeton, by the way. That's out here.
Yeah, it's massive.
But with that moss and all that sort of stuff. But you get some nice tigers. You get some nice,
Nice big female guppy in there, it looks
I was
like.
going to say, does that look like a guppy? It does, huh?
It is a guppy.
Yeah,
You better hope it's not pregnant.
How in the f did it get in there? Let me catch it. I'll go and get in there.
Yeah.
Where is she?
There, got it.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, does she look fat or pregnant? Surely there's not a male in there.
Might have been. Nah, she looks pregnant,
All right, so how'd that happen?
I reckon you had a baby in there and you didn't know it. But then how does there no male? Yeah.
It makes no sense, but this is the the fun thing about this hobby sometimes, huh?
Definitely. I reckon that wraps it up anyways, huh?
Absolutely. This one's going in there.
Oh, and there's also these fighters that I gave you as well.
You know, he's beautiful, huh?
He's nice blue and red.
Yeah.
And then the girl, I reckon she's going to be a koi, but she's got one blue eye and one black eye.
Yeah, awesome.
So, nice. All right. See
All
you
right.
guys later, huh?
Well, that was cool, huh?
Yeah, right. We'll do a tour later at some point. And yeah, you guys can all wait.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.